So, Ian,
But
first of all, thank
yes,
you so much for having been a part of the Impact Alliance so far. It's really been a pleasure getting to know you and seeing your involvement and your passion come through. I'm going to read your Impact Alliance profile
yeah,
and or like your bio, and then I'm just going to let you sort of take it from there and kind of tell us whatever you want to tell us um, to add to that. So you write writer, artist, musician, educator. Howdy, my name is Ian Cook. I've been working in the psychedelic assisted therapy space for the past few months as a community manager and educator, teaching creative writing classes. So, give us a little more.
hi. Yes, so my name is Ian Cook. I am based out here in Lawrence, Kansas, center of the continental United States. Um, so a few months ago, in this past summer, I had my own kind of mental health crisis. I've had depression my whole life. Bipolar was always kind of in the cards as like a family thing. I had never been diagnosed before though. So I was having panic attacks at work. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was losing my habits, um, my the things I love to do, like playing guitar, drawing, being creative. I had a hard time doing those things. So it truly was an imbalance of work life direction.
Yeah, for sure.
So I started looking for solutions on LinkedIn, which is my main platform. Um, and I came across psychedelic assisted therapies. Um, and I had some experience with that in like my early 20s, but I just turned 30 this last year. I had a reworking of myself and my mental, emotional health in the past few years. My wife and I, we stopped drinking about 3 years ago.
Nice.
We stopped smoking cigarettes. Again, we did a whole overhaul of ourselves.
Wow.
Um, oh gosh, and so it was kind of like the culmination of like a three-year journey of self improvement is when psychedelics were reintroduced to my life. So I had like therapy, I had groups that I could communicate with. I found Empathic.health, which is the company I'm helping with. I met Doug on LinkedIn, kind of in the same time I was having that health crisis. So I found a new community where I could openly discuss my mental health, my emotional health, what I was doing to try to address it, and then how I was doing it. Amazing to be able to have a place that you can safely express. I think that's so vital for people. So many people feel like trapped in their own space and in their own surroundings. There's always someone that can listen. There's always someone that wants to listen too. Um,
I love that.
so yeah, oh gosh. So I had found um, ketamine therapies through Empathic Health. Someone had suggested ketamine for depression, bipolar. So I found a clinic out in Kansas City, about 30 minutes east from me. The clinic's been open since 2016. So ketamine's not something that's just coming up again. It's
Yeah.
been here for a while. Oh yeah. It was just like an anesthetics clinic at first. They do like shoulder pain, back pain. If you had like migraines, they could do like Botox treatments. Um,
Hmm.
but they were starting to expand their like mental health focus too. So I went in. I had a typical just mental health onboarding call. Described my mental health recently, my emotional health. I was not sleeping. Habits were dropping off, and then they talked to my therapist and my psychiatrist, my support staff. Um, so it was very by the books. It was a clinic. It was very medical. So I was monitored. I had blood pressure um, monitoring. I did a 6 week IV infusion treatment. So one day a week, I would go for 2 or 3 hours, um, receive my ketamine treatment. The morning of, I would journal, set music playlists, set my intentions down, like what I wanted to address in my depression, family issues, things that I hadn't quite dealt with, like my grandma passing away. My sister has mental health issues as well, and that was something that was impacting my own mental health at the time too. So it was like work, life, family, all these things were culminating inside myself, and I didn't know how to address it.
Mm.
But through the journaling that I've been doing for the past couple of years, the music that I loved, I was able to take those things into the ketamine treatment, um, and then intentionally have myself dissolved into the music and the waves and the treatment itself. And then I was able to come back reconstitute myself with the strongest parts of me, with like my creative sense and my sense for community and my sense for wanting to help people. I brought those things back with me. And after that first treatment, it was like truly day and night. I felt happy again for the first time in so many years. I
Wow.
forgot what it was like to be happy. It felt like I didn't have a giant cloak on my back anymore.
Wow.
So gosh, that was back in like August, September. So I'm still processing these things. I'm still like integrating these things. There's still that daily struggle of I still have mental health issues, and I'm still trying to like deal with that stuff too. But oh my gosh, yeah, it's ongoing.
Well,
So
thank you for like sharing all of that vulnerably,
sure.
sharing that story. That's amazing. I know many people who can relate to that depth of like mental
Mm,
health journey.
mm,
I've scratched the surface in a few ways. So I have, like touched the hot stove top, but I haven't like, you know, and I'm grateful for it, but like I haven't
yeah,
experienced the deeper effects. But I
mm,
can only imagine. So it's
mm.
phenomenal to hear that ketamine therapy and journaling, and it sounds like potentially something bordering on music therapy,
Almost.
have all kind of helped you, like you said, feel happy again for the first time in years, start to reconstitute yourself into the strongest parts of you at this moment. I love the way you
Mm,
describe that. Would you say that, obviously, to anybody who is remotely aware of what's going on in like psychedelics assisted therapy space,
mm,
it is obvious, or it should be obvious, that there is an an enormous potential for breakthrough therapies, for breakthrough results for
mm,
so many people who are currently on antidepressants, who are currently on
mm,
anti-anxiety medication, and sort of like the traditional Western pharmaceutical solutions to those things, which can create dependence. Um, so to anybody who's like paying attention to the space, it should be obvious that there is incredible potential um, in psychedelic assisted therapy. So my question to you is like, are you making a career out of this? Tell us a little bit about Empathic Health. Is that what it is?
yes, yes, Empathic Health. So the company was founded by Douglas Finkelstein. He was based out of Los Angeles. Um, he had gone to the Anderson School of Finance. He had his own personal experience where he felt like the most important thing that was needed was community and integration.
Hmm.
Because he was quarreling with an experience that he had that he was trying to like integrate into himself, and he had a hard time finding the community for it, so he ended up making his own. uh,
Love it.
yeah, reached out to people through Reddit, through LinkedIn, which is where I met him. So I've been developing um, a writing course through that was developed through my own kind of like, yeah, creative journaling, creative processes. The folks that I had talked to um, in the community itself they were looking for integration solutions too. I was like, this is what worked for me. I can show what worked for me and try to like set an example of like, here's like a loose structure, here's like a foundation for you, and then you can build whatever you want on top of it, because everyone has their own like personal system of expression, things that make sense for them in their own way. So um, it's a community built on sharing vulnerability, putting yourself into the community, and then receiving everything from other people. Oh gosh, a community for the community. Yeah, truly.
I love that. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you
yeah,
for reminding me and bringing me back
yes,
to a big focus of yours. You mentioned in your Impact Alliance bio, teaching creative writing classes. Now,
yes.
just now, you mentioned you're building, you're sort of productizing the process that has worked well for you,
Hmm.
and looking to basically package that and offer it to people and say, this is what has
Yes.
worked well for me. Here's how I approach it, the things that I do, and the
Hmm.
intentions behind it, and all of that, and sort of give others who want to try like cathartic writing, it sounds like healing
Yes.
through writing, a
Sure.
others who want to try that, to give them a specific a specific process, something that's worked for you.
True. Truly. Yes. Yes. It is teaching by example, hopefully. I had one of the biggest changes in how I viewed my mental health and my family history was like turning into a narrative, storytelling. How do you make sense to it, to yourself, and then how can you also tell that story to other people so it does make sense? So I've gotten more comfortable with like, yeah, telling my story as it is, and then um, showing what I believe to be like innately human things of expression, creativity. These things have been around for a very long time. So like, for example,
As
also
long
tarot
as we've been
cards.
human.
Exactly. Oh gosh, how do you contend with the world around you when it doesn't make sense? You make something that does make sense, and then you combine the two. You get to that middle ground for sure. So yes,
Yeah.
like tarot cards. That's been a huge part of my creative expansion. My sense of the magic of the world. So yes, like my writing class. It's called the Cosmic Water Closet. Yes, it was born the idea of like shower beer. That was the thing that was like pretty. It was coming back up.
Sour beer.
Shower beer. You take a beer with you into the shower. It was a
Okay.
thing that I had heard of, but since we don't really drink anymore, I was drinking a lot of like tea at the time. So I was like, oh, shower tea. And then it turned into like a self-care module of like, how can I self-care for myself, which is just basic human things like you shower, you have a nice drink, you wind down, you calm down. You don't have to have all this extra stuff. Self-care. And then the
So
creative expression
underrated.
for it. Oh gosh. So I came up with, I was standing in the shower when I was doing it, drinking tea. I came up with like this frog magician persona. His name is Jan, Yan. My name's Ian. My wife calls me Jan sometimes. It's just like a pet name. But he's this little frog guy. He lives in a multi-dimensional tavern called the Cosmic Water Closet. It'll pop in and out of like different spaces and times. So my class is essentially going to be like a 30-minute once or twice a week for like 3 or 4 weeks. So it'll hopefully give you a space to be creative for a bit, to pick up some journaling practices, develop it into your own. And then once that 3 or 4 weeks is over, hopefully you'll continue it in some capacity. And that's the thing too, is like, you don't have to stress about any of this because it shouldn't be anything like, oh, I have to journal today, or like, oh, I have to fix this, and this problem. I write about my dreams sometimes. Through Empathic.health, we did like a dream challenge where there's a small group of us like tracking dreams for 7 days. And we were able to get inside each other's heads, influence each other's dreams as they were going, make sense of it in real time in the real life.
Interesting.
It was almost like integrating like a psychedelic experience of like, what's this weird dream state that I was previously in? How can
Well,
I make sense of it in sober living and then
well,
integrate
and because dreams are like DMT trips.
it? Right. Oh, pretty much.
They
Lucid. Yeah.
are.
Once you get to real lucid dreaming, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's amazing, Ian. Cosmic Water Closet. Um, is that concept of Jan living in a multidimensional tavern? Is that influenced at all by Duncan Trussell's Midnight Gospel? Are you familiar with that
Oh
show?
gosh. Yeah. No, I am. I've seen a little bit of it. Oh my gosh. It might actually it might be. Yes. No, it was very funny. Duncan Trussell was at he was at the Meet Delic conference out in Vegas. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to see some of his work. Briefly introduce myself. um,
Nice.
yeah. Briefly. No, it's funny. I was in line to give I was in the question line at the very end of his talk, and I had like brought one of my journals up, and I was going to ask them about like what's your favorite form of magic, or like how do you best integrate the magical things in life. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to ask, but it's on my bucket list. I'll get there. I'll get there.
Well, it sounds like an email to him is in order.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
seriously, I mean, those people are
Yeah.
not untouchable, right? And
No.
especially
No.
somebody like especially somebody like Duncan, who
Hmm.
is he doesn't have an enormous platform like a Joe Rogan, where it's like, everybody's trying to get in touch with him. Like Duncan
Yeah.
Trussell will probably respond to your email if he gets an email from you.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
So yeah, I think I always encourage people to reach out and try to continue those connections with people that you
Yeah.
feel inspired by.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that does make a lot of sense. No, that does remind me. LinkedIn has been like a huge equalizer for me. because I just started working on the platform about like 3 years ago at my previous position, just like trying to build up an image on the internet and then a presence. So like people that would know. So I learned to talk to all sorts of folks, CEOs, high level positions, mid level positions. People are just people at the end of the day.
That's right.
Everyone's struggling in their own way, and they're trying to make something of themselves, and they're trying to communicate. So if you can have nice, honest human communication with people, you'll make relationships, and then you have a network. It just made sense.
That's right, man.
Sure.
In closing,
Yes.
because I know that we could talk for a long time, and I do need to go make breakfast. I guess my question to you is like, how would you like to what would be like the highest impact way that somebody watching this in the Impact Alliance or considering the Impact Alliance could reach out to you and offer to support you? Like, what are some things or a thing that would be most valuable to you right now from others?
Yes. Excellent. So I would say first and foremost, find me on LinkedIn. Ian Peterson Cook, I believe, is the end slash on it. And just reach out and chat. I love setting up calls with people. So like I'll always take like a 15-30 minute call with someone, just to get to know each other, and then we'll see how we can, either I can assist with projects or connect with people I know, or hopefully I would like to start planning more Cosmic Water Closet classes. So if anybody knows like communities that are looking for creative writing classes, or like even individuals that just want to like hang out and write, I love doing like small group, like 3 to 4 or 5 people. But there's also room for like a larger class setting where like we can all share together too. So yeah, hopefully just more opportunities to teach folks is all I'm looking for. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I love that, man. Well, we should start by hosting a Cosmic Water Closet in the Impact Alliance, since a big part of this is events. We can talk more about that offline. But yeah, before we wrap, did I hear you say you'd like to play more? Did you say you would like to play more Cosmic Water Closet classes?
I don't know if I did exactly say that, but that does make a lot of sense too. It is essentially games too.
Well,
so oh gosh, I love it.
I love that you said that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, but
I'll have to check.
Like, I'm huge on like turning life into play, or like infusing play into life. And it starts with things like that. It starts with referring to our work as play. It starts by referring to, instead of like, teaching a class, playing a class, like playing a movie or playing a game, because that is, oh man, there's a sort of immeasurable quality to that just gets people excited and gets people invested.
It does become performative. And when folks are have their guards down and they're playing, they think they're just playing a game, they'll be more vulnerable than they are in a classic therapeutic setting. But man, I love it. I've been in plays and musicals since I was in like high school. I was a shy kid when I was younger, so I knew I had to like get out there and do that stuff. So yeah, performance is a big thing. The performance of life, truly. Yeah.
The performance of life. Oh man. Yeah. Well, pleasure getting to talk with you again today, Ian.
Yes.
I will produce this and publish it with some show notes, including your LinkedIn. Send me over any other links like Empathic.health. If sure. Cosmic Water Closet has any kind of web presence, you can send that over. But certainly at least your LinkedIn.
Yes. Killer. Awesome. And I was going to say, I was shuffling this deck while we were chatting too.
Okay.
Left or right?
Right.
Ooh, very awesome. The Chariot. You are a driver of movement and forces, commanding knowledge, giving direction. Awesome. Number 7.
Received. Thank you,
very good,
brother.
My friend.
All righty. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
I appreciate that. You too, man. Take care.